the chosen one, before this night gives way to morning. Something unseen will begin to move in your life, and you may not even realize it at first. Not everything that changes announces itself. Some of the most powerful shifts happen in silence, in stillness, in moments where nothing seems different on the outside, yet everything is being rearranged within and around you. And that is exactly where you are right now. You didn't come across this message randomly. There has been a pattern forming in your life, subtle, almost unnoticeable at first. A quiet pulling away from things that once distracted you. In the A, deeper sensitivity to truth. A growing discomfort with anything that feels out of alignment. You tried to ignore it at times. You questioned it. You wondered if it was just your imagination. But it wasn't. What you've been feeling is the beginning of a spiritual transition. Not the kind that shakes the ground loudly, but the kind that rewrites your identity from the inside out. There was a moment, not in the physical world, but in the unseen, when something was decided concerning you, a decision that did not require your approval. A decision that was not based on your perfection, but on your perseverance. A decision that marked you for something greater. In the end, since that moment, everything has been shifting. You may have noticed how certain connections faded without explanation. The people you once felt close to became distant. Conversations that used to flow effortlessly now feel forced or empty. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into what's next. Some were only assigned to a previous chapter of your life, and holding on to them would only delay what is trying to unfold. And yes, that realization may have hurt, because you are someone who values loyalty. You don't let go easily. You invest deeply. You care genuinely. But what you didn't see at the time was that every separation was creating space. Space for clarity, space for alignment, space for what is about to enter your life. There were also moments when you chose silence over reaction, when you held back words that could have easily defended you, when you walked away instead of proving your point. To others, it may have looked like weakness, but it wasn't weakness. It was discipline. It was growth. It was authority being formed in you. Because true authority isn't proven by how loud you can be, it's revealed by how much you can restrain. And every time you chose peace over pride, something shifted in your favor, even when no one acknowledged it. Even when it felt unfair. Even when it seemed like you were losing. You weren't losing. You were being trusted. Trusted with pressure. Trusted with silence, trusted with delay. And trust is never given lightly. That's why what you went through could not be rushed. There were nights when you felt alone in ways you couldn't explain. Not physically alone, but spiritually disconnected from everything familiar. It felt like standing in between two versions of your life, not fully where you used to be, but not yet where you're going. That space, that uncomfortable, uncertain space, that is where transformation happens. And most people run from it, but you didn't. Even when it didn't make sense, you stayed. Even when you were tired, you endured. Even when answers didn't come, you kept believing. And that is why this moment is different. Because what is about to unfold is not random. It is a response to your consistency. A response to your obedience. The A response to the version of you that kept going when quitting would have been easier. Something is aligning. Not loudly, not dramatically, but precisely. Opportunities may begin to appear in unexpected ways. Conversations may open doors you didn't even know existed. Situations that once felt blocked may suddenly start moving. And it won't feel chaotic. It will feel right. That's how you'll know. Because what is meant for you will not bring confusion. It will bring confirmation. But here is what you need to understand. This shift is not just about receiving. It is also about responsibility. Because elevation always comes with expectation. The strength you've built will now be required. The discernment you've developed will now be tested. The peace you've learned to protect will now need to be maintained in new environments. And not everyone will understand this version of you. Some may question the changes they see. Some may try to pull you back into old patterns. Some may not recognize you at all. And that's okay. You are not here to remain the same. You are here to evolve. There is a reason you no longer resonate with certain behaviors. A reason your tolerance has shifted. A reason you feel called to something deeper, something more meaningful. It's because you've outgrown where you were. And growth always requires release. So don't second guess what you've been feeling. Don't minimize the changes within you. Don't go back just because it's familiar. What's ahead of you requires a version of you that is fully aligned, not partially committed. And alignment demands courage. The courage to walk alone if necessary. Courage to say no when it would be easier to say yes. Courage to trust what you cannot yet see. Because what is coming will not always make sense immediately. There may be moments where you're asked to step forward without having the full picture. Moments where you'll need to rely on what you've learned, rather. Then those moments, your faith will lead. Not blind faith, but refined faith. That refined faith. Faith that has been tested. Faith that has been stretched. Faith that has survived uncertainty and still stands. That kind of faith doesn't break easily. And that's why you were chosen to carry it. Something will happen before sunrise. Maybe not something the world will notice. Maybe not something that trends or makes noise. But something real, the something personal. Something that marks the beginning of a new alignment. You may feel it as a sudden sense of clarity. A release of a burden you didn't even realize you were carrying. A win, the quiet confidence that replaces doubt. Or even a simple moment of peace that feels deeper than anything you've known before. Don't ignore it when it happens. Don't brush it off, because that is your confirmation. That is your sign that what has been prepared is now beginning to unfold, and when it does, move with it. Not with fear, not with hesitation, but with trust. Trust in what you've been through. Trust in what you've learned. The trust in who you are becoming, because you are not the same person you were before. You've been refined, strengthened, positioned, and now you are ready. This is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of a new level within it. A level where your presence carries weight, where your decisions carry impact, where your life begins to reflect everything you've endured. So as the night continues and the world remains unaware, know this: something has already been set in motion, something that cannot be reversed, something that will not miss you. And when the sun rises, you may look the same, you may speak the same, you may move through your day like any other, but within you and around you, everything will be different, because heaven has already responded. has already responded. The second you align with